All right, so today we're going to talk about chapter 15, hair, scalp care, shampooing and conditioning, and what is the effect of those services into our daily routines on hair services. So we're going to start with a quote. Ability is what you are capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it. So we need three things: ability, motivation, and good attitude. Do we have those three? Of course we do. So the objectives for this class are stated here. Explain the two most important requirements for scalp care. Describe the benefits of the scalp massage. Know how to treat the scalp and hair that are dry, oily, or dandruff-ridden or prone to dandruff. And explain the role of hair brushing to a healthy scalp. Discuss the uses and benefits of various types of shampoo. Discuss the uses and benefits of the various types of conditioners. Demonstrate the appropriate draping for basic shampoo and draping for a chemical service, and demonstrate the three parts procedure and explain why it is useful. I also will probably divide these videos in a set of three. Since I'm gonna cover cosmetology and barber part, and I also don't want to make the videos way too long, so you can grasp as much information as you can at the time. So slide number 1, scalp care and massage. It is important to perform a massage to have a healthy scalp because we promote circulation. With circulation, we also promote the activation of the blood circulation and production of new cells, which and the benefit of those can be a healthier scalp. Maybe the hair can grow stronger and healthier as well, since we're promoting the blood flow. The two basic requirements for a healthy scalp are cleanness and stimulation. So like I said, massage will stimulate the scalp. And we also want to make sure that the scalp is clean. I find out that a lot of people, they don't clean their scalp properly and they end up having dandruff. And it happens because the person may not be able to clean their scalp the way they should. And the accumulation of dead cells stay there with oils. So progressively it start to build up until they have like a kind of dandruff, but it's not because of the disease or bacteria, it's because the buildup of dead cells. Treatments should be given with a continuous even motion that stimulates the scalp and relaxes the client. We have to check how sensitive a person is. So massages will be performed accordingly. Some persons have very tender skin or scalp, and you can just go very lightly. But some other people will probably prefer stronger, deeper movements. So you're gonna use more strain on your hands, or you can also use tools to perform massage. So the scalp treatments can be given before the hair shampoo, during the hair shampoo while you're performing the wash of the hair. And we have treatments that can be for medical purposes like dandruff. It can be for dry skin to kind of aid to the dryness on the skin. Also for oily scalp. They usually give relaxation, right? And the difference will be on the type of products we use. The procedures are pretty much similar, but there can change. You can add or remove as little steps. I will explain that later. Contraindications. We need to check if there are any cuts, abrasions, or disease that will prevent us from performing this service. So if somebody has a cut on their scalp or open wound or a contagious disease that can be transmitted to a person, you may avoid that scalp treatment. Another type of contraindication can be like psoriasis. Where people with psoriasis have very dry scalp and they are like scales on the scalp that if you remove it, it can be prone to obtain an infection on the scalp. So we have to check the scalp before we start. Also, if they have something contagious like a lice or diseases, we will not perform the service. What is the purpose? The purpose of the scalp treatment on somebody with normal hair and a scalp is to maintain it healthy and in a good condition. So it is recommended to do a scalp treatment, I will say once a week, right? To maintain the scalp clean and free of dead cells. Like it says right here, perform the treatment only after a full hair and scalp examination has been performed. For any kind of service, if we're gonna do a haircut or just a blow dry, shampoo and blow dry, we need to examine and check the scalp to make sure that we do a truly examination. Also, the hair has to do a lot. If we're gonna do a shampoo and conditioning or a conditioning treatment, we wanna make sure that we're using the proper shampoo or conditioner. Dry hair and scalp treatment. For a dry scalp, dry scalp is lacking of oils. So for that purpose, we want to use products that contain oils, humectants, and moisturizers that can provide the oils that the scalp is not providing to the hair. So we can use more oily products. There are some preparations or treatments for the scalp that you can add it. You can buy it on beauty supplies, or you can make also your own. But I would recommend it because you need to know a lot about oils and what type of oils are going to be good for the scalp. Also, you want to check if a person has allergy to a specific ingredient. Some people has allergies to specific things such as coconut oil or peanut oil. So we don't want to mess up somebody's scalp. We also gonna do a good consultation before we start the sex. For oily scalp, and usually oily scalp end up with, if they have long hair, with dry hair at the ends. So you have two issues. You have dry scalp and oily scalp and dry hair. So you have to treat each one separately. You have to treat oily scalp in a way that you give a massage and a treatment to remove the excess of oils, but also bring oils to the ends because that type of hair is very easy to get dry. So we have to do two different type of treatments, right? Anti-dandruff treatment, like I said, if somebody has a dandruff, we have to be careful because the buildup of dead cells can be a good place for fungus to grow. So first thing is dead cells, accumulation of dead cells. But if a person do not clean their scalp properly, they may end up having contagious dandruff, which is caused by a fungus called malassezia. Malassezia, when somebody has that type of fungus or dandruff, it's kind of strong smell and not easy to remove. The scalp become itchy, red, a little bit swollen. It can be painful for the client. So in those cases, if you're gonna do the treatment, you need to have a special medicated treatment. Most likely you wanna wear gloves while you're performing that treatment because in between your nails, you can obtain some of that bacteria. So you need to be very, very careful if you're gonna treat a person with dandruff. So the first step in this service is to brush the hair. You need to brush the hair correctly, right? So we're gonna open the hair, we're gonna brush the hair, and the hair stimulates the circulation. It activates a metabolism in on the scalp, on skin. So it helps to remove dead cells and also to produce new cells for the scalp and the hair. So the brushing will give shine to the hair. It will bring the natural oils to the hair shaft and perhaps the ends, depends how long is the hair. And it's always a good procedure to do. You want to teach your clients to brush their hair daily so that way their hair becomes more shine and healthier. You're not going to brush the hair if you're going to perform a chemical service because you irritate the scalp and the chemical can burn the scalp and irritate the scalp. If the scalp is irritated, you're not going to brush the hair or avoid before any hair color procedures, which is same as a chemical procedure. So like I said, do not brush the hair before any chemical procedure or if the scalp is irritated. Types of hair brushes, natural bristles and nylon bristles. What's the difference? Natural bristles will provide more luster to the hair and will bring the natural oils down farther down to the hair. They will be more gentle on the hair. But the negative, I will say the bad side about the natural bristles is that you cannot use a disinfectant because natural bristles are made of animals. So they're porous, and if you use it with a disinfectant, it may stink. The best thing to use to disinfect those type of brushes are wash it with antibacterial soap, let it dry, and spray it with a 99% alcohol and let it evaporate. So they're not very practical for customer services. But then we also have nylon bristles, which are made of plastic. There are different type of nylon bristles. Some of those are very hard. Some of those are very soft. So you have to be careful when you buy nylon bristles because you want to make sure that the tips of the bristles are a little bit rounded. If they're very sharp and they cut it on a straight line, they can scratch the scalp. So a good nylon bristles brush will be the best option if you're going to do it on a client, because since those are made of plastic, you can easily disinfect, immerse it into a disinfectant, and use it for the next client. The scalp analysis, is that important? Yes. Is part of all the services? Yes. So first, we're gonna dry and dehydrate the hair. Actually, no, I'm so sorry. We are going to see if the scalp is dry or dehydrated and the hair is dehydrated. If the hair is thinning, how can you tell if the scalp is dry? Well, usually it looks matte. It doesn't look shine. It's very tender. Dry scalp has a tendency to have a thinner hair because the pores of the scalp are closer, so the hair is difficult to grow. And the hair gets thin as well. If the hair is thinning, you will see a difference on one area compared to another area of the head. Usually a hair gets thinner around the hairline or on top. So you want to check how the hair thickness goes on top and also on the back. Excessive hair in the sink. If you wash the hair and you see a lot of hair, or the customer tells you, you know what, lately I've been losing a lot of hair. I see a lot of hair whenever I wash my hair. You probably want to, recommend a specific treatment. Dry and tight scalp. Like I said, most of the dry scalps are very tight and become very sensitive. Oily scalp. Oily scalp is full of oils. As you touch it, you can feel the oils on your fingers. They usually, they're not tender. They're very flexible scalp to the point that it feels like a little piece of wheat in some people. Abnormal flaking on the scalp is normal to have a little bit because you accumulate the dead cells for, a few days. But if you see that those flakes are too dry and too much, or when you brush the hair, they're like everywhere. Maybe that's not normal. Maybe that is a signs of real dandruff. Open wounds or scalp irritations, right? If you see that, you may not want to do the service. You want to tell the client, or if you notice something abnormal, like sometimes can be a little bump, and it changes some color, or the shape of that little bump is different. You can also check in the scalp cancer signs or different types of skin cancer. So you want to tell the client to probably go and check it out with a doctor. Any scalp disorders or diseases that you may be checking that person has on the scalp, thick or lice infestation. Obviously, we're not going to do those services unless they get a treatment at home first. So with all that in mind, we have to check the hair. Does the hair have been through a process? Is the hair virgin hair? Is the hair being tinted? Is the hair dry? Is short? Is oily? So you need to check the scalp. And when you apply the shampoo, you're going to wash the scalp. So you need to choose a shampoo that best fit the scalp conditions. As a professional, you must become skilled at selecting shampoos for the health of the client's hair, right? So there are shampoos made for different types of hair, and you just want to select the best one. So for that, in order to select the best shampoo, you need to read what products you have available and what is the purpose of that shampoo. There are all-purpose shampoos that most of the salon uses, like a daily shampoo, but it's very mild. So if you have on your shop different types of shampoos and you have time to read it, or maybe on your off time, downtime, whenever you don't have a client, you want to go and search and look what is each of the products that you have available for your clients good for. So this way, if you're knowledgeable of the products you're going to use, you can recommend better services and products for your client. What you have to consider, that type of hair. Like I said before, you want to consider if the hair is dry, oily, normal, or chemical treated. The condition of the hair. Is the hair healthy? It is being super dry, over processed. It is being exposed to different elements. How do they gonna take care of it at home? Are they gonna use the shampoo that you're using? Or are you gonna provide them with a specific shampoos they can take home to use on a daily basis? pH balance shampoos are very good because they balance the pH of a person. Sometimes with the water that we use, it has a lot of chlorine and it really dries the scalp. But it's not because the scalp is dry, it's because maybe they use hot water and the chlorine and it dries the hair, the scalp. So maybe you want to use a shampoo that can balance their pH. So what is pH? That would be in a different class. All right. So hopefully this class will get you some help. And then I see you in the next video. Bye.